I quit. What? You heard right. YouTube is hard. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time. I was gonna make this video just for the channel members, but then I thought I'd share it with everybody. Besides that, we don't have any channel members yet. I started a second channel just for pinstriping, and I haven't been able to do anything with it, except for make a couple remixed videos from this channel. There's just not enough time. I said I wasn't gonna abandon the idea totally, but I am, because if I ever do get enough time to put some into another channel, I would rather put the extra time in this channel so we can hang out in the garage here more. And I think I found a way to work pinstriping into our normal content just a little bit without being distracting from the normal content. Need some fine tuning yet, but I think it'll work out. Anyway, I took the videos from over there, put them all together, and brought them in here just because. I'm gonna get back to work on this dash so we can have some fun on here next week, but for now, sit back and enjoy the show. Don't laugh. There's not much better than the smell of fresh 7-ply Canadian maple to a skateboarder. But that's not what that is, guys. That's a pile of crap. I got it on Amazon for like 10 bucks. It does have a killer hardware store rattle can paint job though. We can have some fun laying some lines down on it. That's about all it's good for. Decided on this maroon from One Shot. I thought it'd be a pretty good first color on that red. You gotta make sure this is mixed up real good. I shake them, and then I stir them. Just give it a good stir. Dollar store ashtrays, guys. Mineral spirits in one side, reducing in the other. I want to make sure my brush is paleted good too. And by that I mean full of paint. I just keep dragging it through the paint, flipping it over. I keep doing that until I feel it drag a little bit. It is important to hold your brush the right way. This part is always the same. You can see the handle coming through the wrap, and that part there always goes to the left, that way. And if you're left-handed, same thing, it goes that way, left. And that'll ensure that the belly of the brush, the bottom side, is just that, on the bottom. Sometimes I kind of have an idea of a plan, like a design in mind. This time, just made a center line and just kind of let it flow. keep flipping that thing around. But you know what? That's not always the best thing to get used to, because if you go to do a car, you can't pick it up and flip it around. So a good practice is just kind of leave it there so you can figure out how to manipulate your body and brush around. But I always flip them around if I can. I'm just saying it would be a good practice to do. Looking at this, well, this first color is drying a little bit, and I am definitely out of practice. You can see it all over this thing. But that's all right. So we're gonna do another color on that. And I thought that chamois would be a good choice. And I think I'd like it better over white because it won't be so bright over that red and the maroon. Kind of toned down a little bit. I actually use this chamois color a lot. In fact, I've been using it today here. I'm no professional, and I don't claim to be an expert at anything. I feel like as soon as you claim to be an expert, you stop learning. I hope everybody, beginner, novice, professional, can find some entertainment value in these videos, and we'll learn together. The base color sucks. Looks like it was painted in a desert in the middle of a windstorm. But what we did with a little pigment and squirrel hair, that turned out pretty good. Excuse me, do you have the time? So I had this big bottle cap. I had it for a long time. I think it was actually a beer sign. But I painted it this copper root beer color a long time ago. I had plans to pinstripe it and make something cool with it, but it sat around for a couple of years, until now. Digging through my old cooler of paints, I didn't have a color that really stood out to me as something that needed to be laid down as a first color on this. So I made one. Primary colors, secondary colors, mixing this with that. Black and tan. That ain't gonna work. So that made kind of a cool bluish gray. That'll work. In every one of these projects, there comes a time where you gotta toss it to the side and wait. You gotta wait for that previous color to dry, at least mostly. Missy has been my best friend for almost 13 years. And she loves the outdoors. So while that color was drying, we went for a little walk. Back to work. You guys think I use this color too much? Sometimes you just gotta use whatever you got laying around to palette your brushes with. Okay, that's pretty cool. But how useful is it? Oh, dang. I see what you're doing there. I don't always take on pinstriping jobs, but when I do, it's because they gave me full artistic freedom. A good story behind it helps too. This particular one was brought to me by a guy whose wife is into the whole rockabilly pinup thing, and they had a daughter that I think had autism or something, and she kept getting into her mom's makeup. So as a surprise to his wife, he bought a toolbox and some pin-up kind of stickers and brought it to me for some pinstriping. And the idea behind it was that they could lock it up so their daughter couldn't sneak into the makeup and make a mess of herself and the house. I thought that was kind of cool in a lot of different ways, so I took it on. He gave me full artistic freedom, except for one thing. He wanted teal. That wasn't too bad of a request, especially since it was over black. Teal on black, that'll work. The question I had to ask myself is what other color? I could have done teal as the first color and then white, but I figured since he wanted teal, the white would overpower that and it wouldn't be as noticeable. So I went for red. I like to layer my colors depending on the surface that I'm painting, either darker to lighter or lighter to darker. If it's a dark surface, I'm going to start with a darker color and layer them lighter as I go. this particular case, it was kind of hard to decide because the teal and the red were so kind of close. But again, since teal was a suggested color, I wanted that to stand out more. So I did red first. That was a fun project, guys. I actually had a lot of fun with this one. What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm feeling creative today. But before I get started, I wanted to tell you about this one time I found a deal on Amazon for 2 skateboard decks. 2 pieces of crap that claimed to be skateboards. We already did one, but the other one was even more fun. I wanted this skateboard deck to have that old 50s look that was just used and abused. So I started with a coat of red epoxy primer. Gave it a good 3 coats of that. You'll see why in a little bit. The perfect color for this project? A light blue. Spa blue to be exact. That's just an iconic 50s car color, I think. Alright, so after I ended up with this baby blue skateboard deck, this one shot reflects blue, perfect. Started with the center line with the Stabilo pencil. I think that's how you say it. Whatever, wipes right off when you're done. That was looking good so far, but like always, you gotta let that first color sit before you start another. So, I'm gonna hang this super cool picture I got from the one and only Von Dago. hot rods, campers, and pinstripes. These are a few of my favorite things. All right, back at it. So again, I chose the chamois. I got a thing for this color. I don't know. As far as the design, I wasn't super concerned about making something new to me and super cool, because by the end of this, I didn't know what was going to be left. Turned out all right, didn't it? But here's the thing. I want it to look like an old patinaed truck, like where it would have been wore out from your arm out the window, or a sun-faded fender. But I wanted it to look worn out like a skateboard would, from board slides and nose slides and tail slides. So I took some 2000 grit wet sandpaper, because that's all I had left, and wet sanded that thing like my sanding block was that curb at that old church I used to spend so much time skateboarding at. That 2000 is just taking too long. I'm gonna take some 320 that I have and just get it started and then go back over it with a 2000. Most of you are out there like, dang man, why'd you sand all that off? But you, that guy out there who likes old patina cars and skateboards like me, this one's for you. Welcome back to my happy mess. Right before we packed up and left Wisconsin, I took on a quick pinstriping job. Subaru valve covers. Funny thing, I had to call my son for help. I don't know much about Subarus. I didn't even know what way was up on these dang things. And I had just done a skateboard with maroon and chamois, and I actually thought those colors would look good over purple too. Maroon and chamois. Use a Vondago 00 on that. Your typical sword style brush. I use 00 and 000 both a lot. I'm also a fan of Vondago's Mini Saber. I don't usually take on jobs. I just like to do it for fun, for myself. If I ever do take on a job though, it's because they gave me full artistic freedom. Do whatever you want. I've had some oddball requests and I've done it, and it does not make for a happy LT. Takes the fun right out of it, makes it a job I hate, so I don't do it. I need the favorite colors of my 12 best friends, and also make sure there's gold in there. And can you make it like a unicorn flying over Aladdin's castle? Oh, and one more thing. And definitely the full first and last name of my 3 children. Guys, I just want to have fun. Just having fun being creative with an art form that's very tightly related to my very favorite thing. Hot rods and the whole custom culture as a whole. And when I'm done, I might put it up for sale in case anybody wants it. those turned out pretty good, guys. I'm happy with that. Plus, it was a fun last project in the area I grew up in, and before embarking on the most excellent journey. Cut! That's a wrap.